Hello, guys. Welcome to another edition of Mansfield Town News and Views podcast. As always, guys, thanks for tuning into the podcast. Appreciate the support and everyone taking the time out of their evenings to take part. Excuse me. As you can tell by the sound of my voice, I'm not 100%. Still recovering from COVID, but overall, happy. With the win last night, it definitely made me feel a lot better, as I'm sure it did, but with a lot of Mansfield fans. So, anyway, let's get into it. Going to be joined with fellow Mansfield fan Dougie as well shortly. He's just getting his internet up and running, but we're going to be joined by him shortly. Tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about the Rochdale game and that 1-0 win away. The first time we've won there in quite a few years, to be fair. And again, it puts us right back in the hunt for the promotion. We're also going to be talking about Oldham Athletic as well this weekend, which I'm also going to be doing a preview with as well, with Oldham fan Aaron later on this evening as well. So I'll post that up. And again, we're also going to be talking about the Stevenage postponement, which I find it awfully funny with the timing of Steve Evans being appointed manager for the game to be called off. I find it really funny that. But anyway, we're going to get into that all. So as always, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Just going to get down some of your comments. Evening, Ryan. A big win last night. Yeah, it was, Ryan. I think it was a much needed one though, because obviously we lost two games against Tranmere and Port Vale. I think at least with Tranmere we should be getting a draw at least. But against Port Vale, I don't think anyone can complain with the result. Yes, we did create a couple of chances, but defensively we just wasn't good enough. And I think on the night, the defeat probably was the right result. But again, against Rochdale, we did create a lot of chances against Rochdale, especially in the first half. But all the shots seemed to be straight at the keeper, really. So it was just one of them games. It was really frustrating because we did create chances, but again, the Rochdale keeper stood up firm, and it was frustrating. And then up stepped Jordan Bowery, who again at the start of the season, Jordan Bowery was a scapegoat to quite a few fans, and all of a sudden we want him to come on, and he does that, and he gets us a winning goal late on. So fantastic for him. But again, I saw a few people saying after the game that we didn't deserve the 3 points. But for me personally, if you can play a game football and you're not played at your particular best, but you can still come away with the 3 points, that's a sign of a good team. When you're not playing well, but you still get the 3 points, that's all that matters. I mean, of course, you want to play well, you want to dominate anyone that you come up against, but at the same time, it doesn't matter if it's a scruffy 1-0 win. A win's a win at the end of the day. And again, it's a place that we've always struggled to get a result from. So, we've got the 3 points, and that's all that matters, and plus a clean sheet. So, all in all, it was a fantastic result. And again, it puts us up back in contention. We're just a point from the playoffs and 4 points from the top three. So, again, it puts us back in a great situation. It does. That's all that matters. Evening, Chris. Yeah, good, thanks, mate. Like I say, I'm slowly getting over COVID. But yeah, other than that, mate, I'm sound, mate. Hope you're well yourself. Let's have a look at more of your comments. Ryan again. We need that to keep up with the pack. Yeah, we do, Ryan. We can't afford to, fall too far behind. Obviously, if you look at the League Two table now, obviously we're sitting 10th position. We've got Port Vale, Sutton just above us, and that. So, like I say, we are still in a great situation. Obviously, we've got games in hand over the teams above us, but like what I said last week and the week before, we just need to capitalise on that, and again, not worry about what anyone else is doing in the league, and just win our games and let the league take care of itself. But yeah, like you say there earlier on, Ryan, it's a big result against Rochdale, who they're more or less safe anyway, really. So, but nevertheless, you've still got to beat what's put in front of you. But again, it's another many of away games that we've got coming up, really. So, and again, we didn't play particularly well, but who cares? We've got the 3 points, and again, that's all that matters, really. Um, we've got the 3 points. Uh, da, 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 da. Chris, nothing you can do about getting postponed, just unfortunate. Yeah, it is. I was talking to a Stevenage friend of mine last week, Mike, and it turns out they have got a lot of COVID cases in the camp. Which, if so, fair enough. It's one of them. Obviously, like you say, nothing you can do about that. But as Stags fans, we just find it funny, to be fair, because obviously Steve Evans being a former manager of us, and it just so happens a couple of days later when he gets appointed, the game's all of a sudden called off, and it's just one of them things, isn't it? It's just how it falls sometimes, but it's kind of a pain, I suppose, because obviously, the time and the things when you've just lost the last two games, you just want to get back on the horse, if anything, and just get another game under the belts, essentially. But like I say, we got the result last night against Rochdale, and again, we've got another tough game this weekend against Oldham as well. So we've just got to try and focus on that and take each game as it comes, really. That's all we can do. But having said that, even when we was on that 14-game unbeaten run, I think you've still got to take it each game as it comes. You can't get too carried away. You've got to, just focus on each game at a time rather than looking too far, to be honest. It's as simple as that. And yourself, Chris, as a Carlisle fan, you still wanting to secure safety, and you just got to make sure that you don't lose sight of that. But we've got to look forward to it, and we've got to just relish it. You know what I mean? We have. Chris, you got the win. All that matters. Tough away game, whoever you're playing. Well, it is, Chris. Every game's tough at this stage of the season. Doesn't matter where you are in the league. Obviously, top or bottom, every game now, with 11 games to go, it's just like a cup final. Every game you've got to treat as a cup final, as thing is, it is, because, they're all big games. Every game's big, even if it's against a side like Rochdale. All due respect, they're not going up, they're not going down, but even then you've still got to get the result. So yeah, every game's tough, just like Oldham will be. I mean, to be honest with you, it's like when we come up against you guys at Carlisle, teams at near the bottom, in my opinion, are the hardest teams to come up against. So I'm not expecting anything less from Oldham, even though they have lost the 5 games in a row. I think it's 6 actually. It's going to be a massive test for us. So, if people are going down there expecting it to be a easy game, then I think they'll be mistaken, to be fair, because they're always tough games, sides at the bottom. So Saturday will be no different, in my opinion. Excuse me. Chris, you can only hope you can kick on from that win. Hopefully, Chris, like I say, we had 2 defeats against Port Vale and Tranmere the other weeks ago. The thing is, we wasn't, in my opinion, even when we went on that 14-game unbeaten run, I don't know if any other Mansfield fans are the same on this, but I didn't think we'd go the whole season, well, the rest of the season, undefeated. I just didn't think we would anyway, to be fair, because you look at the games that we've got coming up in the near future. We've got Forest Green, we haven't played at all this season, so you've got to think we've got to go to the new lawn and play them and play them at Field Mill. So we've still got Forest Green twice, so as well as Sutton. So we've still got tough games coming up against the top sides. So, we've got a massive load of away games coming up, which will be a big test, but every game's a test, even if it's at home. Every game's a test. So I don't understand it when people say, "Oh, it should be an easy game because we're at home." It's like, yeah, we've got the home advantage, but you've still got to go out there and do the job. You know what I mean? So that's what matters, really. But like I say, no, it wasn't the greatest performance against Rochdale, but who cares? It's the 3 points is all that matters, and thankfully Jordan Barry, the super sub, came on and got his 7th goal of the season. But I'll talk more about the Rochdale game in a second. I'm just going to get down to some more of your comments. Chris again. You can only hope. Oh yeah, I just read that comment. I do apologise. Sorry to hear, mate. Hope you get better soon. I'm just amazed yourself. Thanks. Yeah, appreciate that, Chris. I might not look it or sound it, but I'm a lot better than what I was. I started this week anyway, but the result last night certainly made me feel a lot better, as I'm sure it did a lot of Mansfield fans if they're not feeling great. So that's all that matters. 3 points is a cure for everything. So yeah, I'm getting there, mate. Thank you. I'm getting there. Like I say, I'm meant to be joined with my mate Dougie shortly. So he'll have his opinion if he does come on, which should be shortly. Let's get down some of your comments. Ryan, Oldham this weekend. I'm looking forward to it, but Oldham will put up a fight. Yeah, they will, Ryan. And like I say, teams now again. Like I keep saying, every game's tough, especially at this stage of the season, because every team's fighting for something, whether it's to stay up, get into the playoffs, automatics like ourselves, and especially when a team's fighting to stay in the league, they're always the toughest games. They always are, and they always will be, because that's how football is. Because even though they have been in poor form recently, Oldham, there's still a chance they can stay up. So they're going to be one of the toughest tests in the running, without a shadow of a doubt. But having said that, if we want to get promoted, we've got to go down there and get the 3 points. We've got to, or at least get a point. I mean, a point wouldn't be a bad result, to be fair. But again, if we can get all 3, then it would be a real statement of intent. But yeah, it will. It'd be. Oldham could be even as tough as somebody like Tranmere, for example, because they're fighting to stay up. So, yeah, it's going to be a battle. But if the players do want to get promotion at the end of the season, they're just going to have to stand up to the challenge and face it. Simple as that, And we know the players are capable of doing that. We've seen that, we know the players are capable of doing that. I mean, it's got us this far, so, you've got to be confident going into it, and who better to have at the helm other than Nigel Clough, So, let's hope we can get another winning run going, hopefully. Because I feel as though we've got to, if we do want to get promoted. It's as simple as that, guys, Can't really put it any more plainer than that, to be fair. But having said that, a point won't be a bad result either. But I mean, here's the thing as well, guys. I mean, if 4 points was offered to you now, would you take it? If 4 points was offered to you now, would you take it? To be honest with you, I think a lot of fans would, because again, 7 points from 3 games, you can't sniff that. You know what I mean? So 4 points from the next 2 games wouldn't be a bad return, in my opinion, and I think a lot of fans would take that, if I'm being honest with you. But I thought I'd ask you guys your opinions on that. So would you take 4 points from the 2 games that they've got coming up? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's have a look. Excuse me. I tell you, I wish I was going to Oldham, but as you can tell, I won't be, sadly. But I wish I was. I really wish I was, because the atmosphere is going to be amazing at the away end. Let's have a look. Evening coal miner man. Massive win, Mark. Performance was not brilliant, but scrappy 3 points. Well, yeah, like I keep saying to people, doesn't matter how you perform. I mean, of course, you want to perform well and get the 3 points. Every team does, but that's not always going to be possible, But I don't think we played particularly bad. I mean, we created chances. Rhys Oates had a couple of chances. Jamie Murphy did, So we did have chances. It's just, again, it was just frustrating, one of them games. But look, we got the all important goal late on from Jordan Bowery, and I've got the 3 points, and that's all that matters. We've got the 3 points, and like I say, doesn't matter if you play the signs of a good team are, if you're not playing well and get the 3 points, then that's a sign of a good team, in my opinion, and that's exactly what we've shown time and again this season, So credit the lads and the management for being able to get the 3 points. Let's get some of your comments, guys. Ryan, Good Steve Evans pulled the strings as he wouldn't want his first game against Mansfield, as he knows he gets a lot of stick. Yeah, I mean, like I say, in Stevenage's defence, it does turn out they have got a lot of COVID cases because I've got a Stevenage friend, Mike, and it turns out they have got a lot of cases, which fair enough, that's fine. It happens. It could be us like we could have a lot of cases, and fair enough. But it just feels funny though, doesn't it? Because when that Stevenage game did get postponed because of COVID, like no other team in England on that particular day was postponed because of COVID cases, not even in non-league to my knowledge. So it was just odd, wasn't it, how it was only Stevenage, no other team. But, all due respect to Stevenage, it just shows you they've not really been, I don't know, following the protocols enough or something, because I'm not being funny, but every other League Two team, or league teams at least in football, haven't been postponed for a number of months now. So I do find it odd how Stevenage is the only team to have that, to be honest with you. But it's just the way it is. But either way, though, he's not going to escape the stick, though, Steve Evans, because even when a rearranged fixture does come around, he's still going to get it. So he's not going to escape it. But yeah, I see what you mean. It's just the timing of it's just bizarre. But I can't wait to see what reception he's going to get when he comes back to the mill. But either way, we'll focus on that when it comes around. But yeah, it's funny how football is at times, though, isn't it? But it is what it is. It is what it is, guys. Let's have a look. All of your comments, guys. Chris, even though we are 12 points clear above relegation, we still want to finish high as possible. We don't want our form of winning 5 to 6 games since Simpson came in to stay there. You want to carry that on. Yeah, of course you do, Chris, exactly. You want to keep it up as long as what you possibly can. I mean, obviously from your guys' perspectives, it's just, you don't want to be waiting or relying on other teams to do you a favour. You want to do it yourselves. Similar to us, really. I mean, but the only difference between us is it's in our hands to mess up. We've got, I think it's 4 games in hand, I believe. 3 or 4, I believe. I know we've got a few games in hand. So it's in our hands to mess up, essentially. So if we mess up these games in hand, then it's our own fault, essentially. So the rest of the season, from our point of view, is going to depend on what we can do. So it's in our hands to mess up. But yeah, you want to carry it on, like you say. I mean, it's easier said than done because, as we know, League Two is so unpredictable. Anyone can beat anyone, like we say. So, but like I say, guys, I mean, like I say, Chris, I think you'll be more than fine, mate. I mean, I'm not a betting man by any stretch, but if I was, I'd say that you'd be more than fine stopping up. I think it's fair to say Scunthorpe's dead and buried. I don't think they'll stand any chance of staying up Scunthorpe. So I think it's either going to be between Oldham, Stevenage, or Barrow, if I was to guess. One of them two. I want it to be Stevenage to go down. And it's nothing against Stevenage Football Club. I've got nothing against Stevenage. Like I say, I've got a friend who's a Stevenage friend, Mike. He's a really silent guy. But I just want him to go down just for him. Just for Evans. I can't stand the guy. I'd love it if I'd just love it for Steve Evans to have a relegation on his CV. And again, it's nothing against Stevenage. It would just be really nice to have Steve Evans have a relegation on his CV, wouldn't it? Oh, it'd be like the icing on the cake, wouldn't it? We get promoted and he gets relegated. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Oh, if only. But that's only because of Evans. Because I can't stand the guy. Alright, let's have a look at some more of your comments. Evening, Glenn. Not a great performance, but it's 3 points that matter at this stage of the season. Yeah, exactly. And that's all that matters, Glenn. It doesn't matter how you play, as long as you get the 3 points, that's all that matters. I mean, how many times have we seen it over the years at Stags where in previous seasons we've come up against teams that have been rubbish, we've been all over them, and they'll have a chance, and that's it. They sneak away with the 3 points. So, But yeah, talking about the Rochdale game, just lastly before I talk about the Oldham preview, is with Jamie Murphy. I saw Jamie Murphy have a lot of stick last night against Rochdale. I just want your guys' opinion on Jamie Murphy, because when we signed Jamie Murphy, when we saw him in the first couple of games, I didn't think he looked too bad in my opinion. I mean, the last night's game that he had, I don't think it was the best game that he had, but it kind of reminded me of like Bowery at the start of the season, where a lot of fans was against Bowery. They were critical of him, saying he wasn't going to get us goals, and they were just on his back basically. And I saw a lot of fans react to Murphy last night. So I just wanted your guys' opinion on Jamie Murphy's performance last night. Did you think he had a bad game, or do you think he's still going to be a big player for us in the running? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, because I did see a lot of people criticise Murphy's performance. So I just wanted your guys' take on it. But yeah, I think we can all agree Jordan Bowery has to start on Saturday. And I'm not just saying that because he scored the winning goal last night. I think Jordan Bowery has been unlucky to be dropped, in my opinion, because he's been great under Clough this season. I don't understand why he dropped him, in my opinion, Jordan Bowery. I mean, I get he brought Jamie Murphy in for his experience, and I understand that, but I do feel for Bowery because, in my opinion, I don't think he should have been dropped because he has been playing well. So I really do hope we see Jordan Bowery start more games because he's been great, like I say, under Clough. So hopefully he can start more games, really. But yeah, I just want your opinion on Jamie Murphy, really, because I've seen a lot of mixed reactions on him. So I just wanted your guys' opinion on him as well. But me personally, I've seen him play a couple of games, Jamie Murphy, where he's done quite decent. But I think it's fair to say the last night's game that he had, he wasn't at it at all. He did miss a chance, but we were saying the same about Bowery, and he managed to turn it around. So I still think it can come good for us, Jamie Murphy. I still think it can come good for us, but just want your guys' opinion on him. Let's have a look. Ryan, yes, I'll take 4 points. Got my ticket for Oldham away. Brilliant stuff, Ryan. Top man. Yeah. Also, Scunthorpe United tickets are on sale as well, guys. So if you haven't already, if you're a season ticket holder, get yourself on that if you haven't done already, because I'm sure the Scunthorpe United tickets will be going like the clappers. Like every game will be at this stage of the season. So yes, the Scunthorpe game tickets are on sale for season ticket holders, so make sure you get on that, guys, if you're a season ticket holder, because I'm sure they'll be soon gone. So Alright, let's have a look. Chris, winning games when not at your best is a sign of champions or promotion team. Yeah, it is, Chris. I mean, I know it's a cliche in football when people say that, but it generally is true because, I mean, I'm sure you've seen it before with Carlisle teams in the past where, you've not played well and you've just been there like, how have we won that game? We've played awful, but we've won. You know what I mean? Who cares? I mean, the amount of games that we played earlier this season where we played really well, but we didn't get the 3 points, and afterwards we're just there like, how have we not won that? You know what I mean? So, result over performance. It's a results business football. You know what I mean? Of course you want to play well, of course you do, but it's a results business football. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. It's a results business, and that's all that matters. Getting the results on the board and climbing up the table. You know what I mean? That's what it comes down to, mate. I know it's simplified, but it is. Because no one's going to look back on it and say, well, yeah, you lost the game, but we play well. Because it matters getting the results. But Chris Smart was doing a Kevin Keegan. I will love it if they go down. I will love it. Yeah, kind of. I need to put a lot of passion if that was to happen. But yeah, and again, it's nothing against Stevenage Football Club, or anything like that. It's just I can't stand Steve Evans. I didn't like him before, even when he was even before he managed Mansfield. I couldn't stand the guy then, and I didn't like it when he was managing us. So it would be funny. It would be funny just for Steve Evans' sake. But anyway, we can dream. We can really dream. So, but yeah, I really can't wait to review that game. Preview that game. Sorry. So yeah, that's going to be a fun one to do. Ryan, let's have a look. Is it Ryan? Not Ryan, sorry, LN, sorry. I'm sorry, guys, I'm all over the place tonight, jeez. LN, Bowery, Hawkins for next game, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I, I don't understand why. I do and I don't, because obviously we're playing Hawkins in defence in a back three, aren't we? And I know it has worked in the past when we've played a back three with Hawkins back there with O'Toole and Hewitt, but I don't know. It's one of them. I'd just like to see Hawkins play up front more. I mean, he's in his natural position, so it's just bemused me why he keeps playing him back there when we've got Farren Rawson, who's more than capable of playing back there, but he's just so insistent on playing Hawkins there. It's just, I don't know. It's just strange. But yeah, I'd put Bauer in. Or you know what? I'd even put Bauer in for Murphy, in my opinion. Just to give Murphy a break. So either that or Murphy, in my opinion. But yeah, I'd definitely put Bauer in there. And again, not just because he scored last night, but because I think he was unlucky to be dropped, in my opinion, because he didn't do anything wrong. He just got dropped for Jamie Murphy, who I know clubs had him before at Sheffield United, and he's done well for him there. But I don't feel for Bowery, I really do, because he's been great for us, So, but yeah, I mean, it would be a manager, eh? It would be a manager, I mean, Nigel could watch me and think, well, what's he on about? You know what I mean? He's not managing this club, so who am I? But look, if Hawkins is great playing in a back three and we get the results, I will never ever say anything again, because that's all that matters. So Nigel knows better than somebody like me. Obviously trains with them day in and day out. So if Hawkins is better playing in the back three and he gets the results, then it's all that matters. You know what I mean? So better dues, that's all that matters really. Chris, I need to go back decades when I felt that as a Carlisle fan, winning games we're not at our best, being like that recently, to be fair, I suppose. Well, yeah. Excuse me. Well, yeah. And, it's one of them, as we know, League Two, as we've always known, it's still an unpredictable league. Anyone can beat anybody, as we keep saying. But yeah, this is a problem with us because, you can play well, but obviously, if you don't take your chances, then you can come out of a game with nothing or just a point, and you look back on it and you think, how have you not won it sometimes? But I just think sometimes in football, I know it's easy to say this as a fan, but I think the players just need to just be a bit more composed, really, and in front of goal, and it can just be something as simple as just that final ball, and sometimes it can be the difference. You know what I mean? And but yeah, like I say, I don't care if every game for the rest of the season we perform badly but get the results. It doesn't matter. It's just, you just get the results, and that's all that matters. But the problem, I think, from our point of view, for much of the start of the season, we did create our own problems. So basically, we just made stupid mistakes earlier on in the season, and it cost us. But now we're in a situation where we've got all these games in hand, so it's ours to lose, really. So that's what I mean. If we cock it up, it'll be our own doing. So we've just got to take each game as it comes, and really just take each game as it comes, and not look too far ahead, because we've got so many away games coming up. Obviously, we had Rochdale last night, Oldham. Obviously, we had Oldham this weekend. So we've got so many away games coming up, but either way, you've still got to play everyone. So it doesn't matter when you play them, you've still got to do it, haven't you? So we've just got to rise up to that challenge, really. LN, Chesterfield bottling the National League title is so comedic. Yeah, if anybody hasn't seen this, I think it was Gateshead that beat Chesterfield last night. Don't quote me, I might be wrong by that, but go and have a look at the goal Chesterfield conceded last night, and it was so funny. It was like the ball bobbled right in front of the keeper and it went over him. It was just, it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. It was a good strike, to be fair, but I think the keeper would have saved it had that bobble not been there, because the lad striked it and the ball, just like I say, it just, as the keeper went down to dive it, the ball just went over his head. It was just brilliant. It was like something you'd see on a YouTube funny football video. It was completely, it was brilliant. It was fantastic, Well, yeah, it was. It was. It was great, and it's always good to see it when the rivals batter each other as well. It's brilliant. It's funny as well because Chesterfield have got Notts County as well this weekend, I believe. So that'd be an interesting one to see how that one pans out. But hopefully, come next season, we'll not have to be playing them for another couple of seasons. So let's just hope they're another league below us, for once. So yeah, just check the goal out they conceded last night, Chesterfield. It was comedy gold. It was just beautiful. It couldn't happen to a better team. It was brilliant. Let's have a look at some of your comments, guys. Call man, let's leave it to Clough where everyone plays. We've got a chance of automatic promotion. Come on, chaps. Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, like I say, towards us fans, we look at the lineup and we often think, well, why is he playing or why is that formation? But Clough's been in the game for pretty much all his life, obviously as a player, coach, obviously manager. So Clough knows better than what we do as fans, But obviously as fans we're going to question things like decisions and stuff, obviously, and it's natural to. But you look at where he's got us so far, it's like I'm not going to criticise. You'd be stupid to criticise a manager that's got us in the predicament that we're in. Obviously 3 months ago we're near the bottom two. Fast forward 3 months and we're 1 point from the playoffs, 4 from the automatic spots. It just the results speak for themselves. But yeah, but like I say, when you look at the bench as well, at players that we've got that haven't really performed. Been given the chance to perform, should I say. Danny Johnson, another player that we haven't seen much of at all this season. And again, he could still play a big part for us this season. He really could. The amount of goals he got last season for Leyton Orient, and he can't even get a game for us, And it's not down to his ability, it's just down to the quality in front of him. When you've got players like, Lucas Akins when he was fit, and Reece Oates, so it just shows you the strength and depth we've got of the squad. When a player like Danny Johnson, with the goals he gets, he can't even get in the team, so it's just the strongest bench I've seen at this club in many years, and I don't think that's an overstatement. I think it's fair to say it's one of the strongest benches we've had at Mansfield Town. I mean, for many years, in my opinion, since my time anyway, I've never known a bench as strong as what we've got now, and this is the best chance we've got of promotion since the Flitcroft era, to be fair. And again, we've got games in hand, and this is like I say, this is the best chance we've got. So let's not try and blow it this time, Let's have a look at some of your comments, guys. Evening, Ashley. Good to see you again, brother. You too, mate. Poor Murphy just can't get going at the moment. Can he? But on the flip side, Bowery has been unlucky to lose his place to him. But he definitely starts against Oldham. Bowery, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I think Murphy just needs a rest, really, because, look, every player has a bad game. It's one of them. Everyone does. So it's I've been impressed with him so far, to be fair. Murphy. The first couple of games he didn't do too bad, to be fair. Nothing amazing or anything, but I don't think he's a bad player, Murphy. I mean, you look at his CV. He's very experienced in former international player, played at some very big clubs. High level football. So I still think he's a good, useful player for us. It's just, he's not prone to any. He's not like anyone else. He's like everyone else. Sorry, he's prone to a bad game, just like everyone is. So yeah, but just all you got to do is change it up for Bowery, and I think we'll be well away. To be fair, but yeah, like I say though, it's looking good for us. Still in a great position, and Clough did the right thing. He saw it wasn't working with Murphy on the pitch last night. Changed it up for Bowery, and no coincidence, it comes up with a winning goal. So. And again, Nigel's not stupid. Obviously during any game, if nothing's working, he'll switch it up a lot, and that's what gets us the 3 points in the end. So and that's all that matters. Just getting the 3 points. Doesn't matter how you play, as long as you give it your all and just take your chances when they come, and then try and see the game out. Essentially, But yeah, excuse me. But yeah, just going to talk about Oldham this weekend. We spoke about it before, but earlier on briefly. another tough game. I think sides near the bottom, they're always tough. It doesn't matter where you play them, home or away. They're always tough games. I know they've been beaten in the last 6 games, but they're going to be no mugs Oldham. They're not exactly going to lie down for us. They're still fighting to stay up, and even though they are in the bottom too, they have still got a chance of staying up. So it's very tight at the bottom. It's very, very tight. So that they're really going to come at us, and we've got to be ready for that. It's another big test for us, and it's one we've got to conquer. If we want to carry this unbeaten run that we've got going on, we've got to go there and at least get a point. A point won't be a bad result. Like I said earlier on, from these next 2 games we've got coming up, 4 points wouldn't be a bad return in my opinion. So if we get a point at the weekend and 3 points next week, it would be great. So, we've just got to go there, be ready for the challenge, and again, hopefully that will be more than enough to come away with something, really, to be honest with you. Because like I say, we know we've got the quality within the squad to do that, really. But like I say, guys, let us know your thoughts on the Oldham Athletic game, what changes you'd make ahead of that game. Obviously, we spoke about Jordan Bowery, potentially bringing him in place for Murphy, which personally I think you've got to, because, again, Bowery's been unlucky to be dropped in the team, really, and, he's under Nigel, he's got him playing well. You can see how much he's enjoying his football as well, Bowery. He said that in his interview last night, as well as he has previously, that, he loves playing for the club, and he's another player that gives it his all. So, you've just got to start the guy. You've just got to start him, and see how things go, really. But yeah. But like I say, after this podcast is finished, I'm going to be doing an interview with Aaron, who's a massive Oldham fan, to preview the game at the weekend. So I'll be doing that shortly once I've finished the podcast, and I'll have that uploaded with you guys after the podcast. So once you finish watching the podcast, you can check that interview out with Aaron, and have a full preview ahead of that game, to be honest. So yeah, essentially, guys, I think the best result we can really hope for this weekend, if not all 3 points, which I still think we can more than enough do, is again, a point wouldn't be a bad result either, to be fair. But I think we don't want to fall too far behind, obviously. So I think to get 3 points at any stage of the season, especially in the running that we're in, is massive. Because all these games now are cup finals. In my opinion. We can't afford to drop points. We've just got to try and keep up with the pack, if you like. We don't want to fall too far behind, and we've got to be on it. But yeah, so. But on that note, thank you again, guys, for tuning into the podcast. Really do appreciate you taking your time out of your evening. Sorry if I've had to cut short a bit tonight. Just not feeling really great, as you can tell. But no, thanks for taking your time out of your evening to take part in the podcast and have a nice say on the Rochdale game, as well as the Oldham match this weekend. And be sure to check out the Oldham preview that I'm going to be doing shortly after this is done. That'll be uploaded later on this evening. So, we'll get more insight into Oldham's camp and, what the mood's like there from my friend Aaron. So, thanks once again for the support, guys. Really do appreciate you taking your time out of your evening to join in. And hope we all have a great week, and I hope we can all have an amazing weekend where we're talking about 3 more points, or at least a point away from home. And let's, if we can, try and get another unbeaten run going if we can, and get another run going essentially. Coleman, man, up the Stags, Mark. Get well soon. Cheers for that, mate. Appreciate that. And thanks again. Thank you to Ellen. Thanks to Chris. Thanks to Ashley, Ryan, Glenn, Coleman, man, just to name a few. And for everyone else that's watched the podcast and supports the page, really do appreciate that. And like I say, keep an eye on the page because there's going to be plenty of surprises for you guys in the upcoming weeks. We've got so much in store for you guys. I really can't wait to reveal it all. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate the support. Much love. Up the Stags.